Have you ever imagined waking up one day and finding that everything has changed? That all the dry land on the planet turned into ocean, and all the oceans became huge continents? It seems impossible, but let's imagine together what this completely upside-down world would be like. Imagine looking at the map and seeing that where there was once water, now there is land, and where there was land, now there is only sea. The Pacific Ocean, the largest of all, would give way to a gigantic continent, perhaps the largest ever seen, with deserts, forests, and mountains where before there was only water. And your city? It could disappear completely, submerged in a deep and mysterious sea, where there were once streets and buildings. Mount Everest, which today is the highest point on the planet, would transform into the deepest ocean trench, an almost unreachable abyss. And the Mariana Trench, which today is the deepest place, would become the highest mountain on Earth. Brazil would also change completely. The Amazon, which today is the world's largest tropical rainforest, would become an immense sea, with deep waters covering everything. And the Atlantic, which separates continents, would transform into a vast plain, perhaps full of life, animals, and new landscapes. Seen from space, our planet would no longer be the blue planet. Now, it would be brown and green, with only 29% covered by water, and the rest dominated by immense lands. It would be a world of land, with small, isolated oceans. This would change everything: the climate, the animals, the cities, our history, and even the way we live. If this swap happened suddenly, it would be total chaos. Entire cities would disappear under the waters. Billions of people would have to flee to survive. Only those in high areas, like mountains and plateaus, would have any chance of escaping this new aquatic world. But would humanity be able to adapt? We would have to build new cities, learn to live in unknown lands, and face completely new challenges. What would life be like on this inverted planet? New animals would emerge, plants would be different, and even our way of life would change completely. Let's explore this upside-down world together, full of surprises and possibilities. Hold on tight, because the adventure is just beginning. Get ready to discover a whole new planet where anything is possible. Imagine 5 supercontinents where oceans once were, a vision that challenges our current understanding of the world. The Pacific continent would be colossal, dominating the horizon, while the Atlantic would form a natural bridge connecting the Americas, Europe, and Africa, uniting cultures and economies in unimaginable ways. Travel would be by land, crossing vast deserts and endless forests, where adventure and exploration would become part of daily life. The new oceans would be smaller, shallow, like large saltwater lakes surrounded by land, offering new ecosystems and challenges for marine life. Navigation between them would require artificial canals, monumental engineering feats that would redefine global transport and logistics. Trade would change radically, with new land routes emerging, transforming the global economy and creating new development opportunities. Mountain ranges would become archipelagos, and the Himalayas would be a frozen sea with high islands, a scenario of beauty and mystery. Brazil would have an inland sea where the Amazon used to be. Coastal cities would be submerged, creating a new coastline and a new cultural identity. New cities would emerge on the vast plains of the former Atlantic, centers of innovation and human progress. Geography would rewrite human history, with new narratives emerging from a transformed world. A totally new world to explore, full of possibilities and challenges, waiting to be discovered by a new generation of explorers. With 71% land, the climate would be extreme. The oceans, which today regulate temperature, would lose their role. Supercontinents would have scorching deserts by day and freezing nights. Fewer oceans mean less rain. Tropical forests would barely exist. The interior of the continents would be arid, with few humid areas at the edges of the seas. Hurricanes would be rare but devastating. Ice ages could be more intense. The planet would be a place of extremes, heat, cold, storms. Would you face this climate? Life would have to reinvent itself. Marine animals would be confined to small seas. Many would not survive. Terrestrial animals would have vast territories to evolve, creating new species and competitions. Predators and herbivores would adapt to immense plains and deserts. Deep sea creatures would migrate to the new continental oceans. Geyser ecosystems could emerge with unprecedented life forms. Migratory birds would face enormous challenges crossing supercontinents. Evolution would be a spectacle of adaptation and survival. Our coastal cities would become submerged ruins, true modern Atlantises. New cities would emerge on the edges of the supercontinents, where the climate would be milder. Architecture would have to withstand temperature extremes. Transportation would change. Trains and highways crossing continents, monumental bridges connecting islands and lands. Floating cities could emerge in the new seas, self-sufficient and mobile. Urban life would blend with the freedom of the sea. Engineering and creativity would be essential for survival. Would you live in a floating city? Daily life would change radically. Imagine waking up every day in a world where the ground beneath our feet was once the ocean floor. Cities would be built on arid and rocky landscapes, and the horizon would be dominated by impressive geological formations, once hidden beneath the deep waters. Agriculture would be difficult. Poor soils, little rain, and a much drier climate than we're used to. Farmers would have to constantly fight against water scarcity and lack of nutrients, making food production a big challenge. Greenhouses and advanced irrigation would be essential to ensure survival. New agricultural technologies would emerge, allowing us to grow food even in the most hostile environments, making the most of every drop of water available. Foods like wheat and rice would be rare. Seafood would dominate the diet. Our diet would change drastically, with fish, seaweed, and seafood becoming the basis of meals, while grains and vegetables would be true luxuries. New professions would emerge: engineers, geologists, scientists, and explorers dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of the ancient oceans and adapting human life to this new environment. Leisure would change: hikes through the old seabed, water sports in the new seas, and adventures in never-before-seen landscapes would become popular. Adventure tourism would explode, attracting people from all over the world to explore the wonders and challenges of the inverted Earth. Culture and art would reflect the nostalgia for the old world and the beauty of the new, inspiring artists, musicians, and writers to create works that celebrate this transformation. Myths about submerged cities would arise, feeding the collective imagination and giving birth to new legends and fascinating stories. Humanity would reinvent itself, forging a new identity based on adaptation, resilience, and creativity in the face of a transformed planet. We would be the people of the inverted Earth, united by the experience of rebuilding our home in a totally new and challenging world. Exploring the new lands would be like visiting another planet. The ancient seabed is rugged, full of mountains, canyons, and volcanoes. Remains of whales, shipwrecks, and fossils would be exposed, creating open-air museums. Scientists would study hydrothermal vents on the surface, looking for new forms of life. Discoveries could help us understand the origin of life and even inspire searches on other planets. But living in these areas would be risky. Volcanoes and earthquakes would be common. Exploration would be dangerous, but full of rewards. A unique adventure for humanity. We've reached the end of our journey through the inverted Earth. Imagining this world makes us appreciate the balance of our real planet. It shows how adaptable and creative we are in the face of extreme challenges. It would be a world of dangers, but also of opportunities and discoveries. Thinking about these scenarios inspires us to take better care of our planet and you. What would you change or discover in this inverted world? Leave your comment and keep exploring with us.